right. So good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day this morning. And as you know, welcome to another great money talk. Today is the Thursday. So happy Thursday, everybody. And today I have the pleasure of talking to you guys and following up from yesterday, right? We're talking about taxes today, why it says minus taxes on the wealth formula. So if you're just joining us on this call, I would advise you to definitely listen to yesterday's podcast so that way you can get a better insight of what is going on, right? And as you know, it's important when you're using the wealth formula to build wealth, then it requires you to take advantage of learning the simple concepts of how to build wealth and how to understand and break down the guide. So today, like I said, we're going to talk about minus tax, right? And what is minus tax really all about? Why does it say minus tax? Why must we truly understand this thing? So that way we could put ourselves in a winning position. Now, winning the money game requires you to, like I said, if you understand taxes, you know where to put your own money. Okay. That is one thing I got to tell you. If you take the time just to understand taxes and how simple it is to understand taxes, you will know where to put your money. Now, I'm not talking about filing taxes. I'm not talking about doing your tax refunds. I'm talking about before you invest your money, right? Because there's two things I talk about when you're ready to invest your money and saving it. You must learn. You must know what is your tax tolerance, and you must know what is your risk tolerance. So if you understand your tax tolerance, you will know where to invest your own money. Because the thing about taxes is that we get taxed on everything, right? Almost everything we get taxed on, right? Think about this. If you make money, they're going to tax you. If your money grows, they're going to tax you. If you spend it, they're going to tax you. And if you die, they still tax you. So every way that you look at, you're getting taxed. You're going to get taxed. So what you got to understand is, well, how does this whole tax thing work? Because there was a time in our life where we never had to pay taxes, or at least income tax. And many people think that's normal today. You know, many of you think that is so normal to pay your income taxes. You think it's definitely a good thing to be paying income tax because they said so. Now, do you know there was a time in our life where we didn't have to worry about income tax? A matter of fact, how did income tax come to fruition is because there was a little nice meeting that happened on Jekyll Island. And many of you never learned about it. Many of you shouldn't even know about it. But this meeting happened in December 25th, 1910, right? December 25th, 1910. There was a meeting that happened at Jekyll Island with some major players, and these major players created to you what is now known to you as what's known as the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve was implemented in 1912, and the first ever income tax ever was distributed was in 1913. See, this is factual things that you probably never know, and if you never knew this, then you need to know. You know, there's a really good book out there that talks about this meeting and talk about why did the banks and other big leaders and big people in this industry came together and created this Federal Reserve, and what was the reason behind it. But I'm not going to get into that today. That's something for you to go read and do your own research on. But one of the things I'll tell you is that you should read this book called The Creature from Jekyll Island. And if you've never read that book, I will highly recommend you should read it because it's a good book. And maybe you could just do your own research about what meeting took place at Jekyll Island on, 1910, December 25th. And then why in 1913, the first ever income tax came out. And it's been the lowest it's ever been. Did you know the first income tax in 1913, it was called the First Income Tax Act, and that was only 7%. 7%. And ever since It's been higher. It gets high, sometimes get low. Do you know there was a time where taxes was at 94%? Think about what I'm saying to you. Imagine getting taxed on 94% of your income. Mm. How many of you would want to live in that era, right? But now people say, well, the taxes are low now, Keon. Isn't that a good thing? It's getting back to those sweet old days, right? Not if it wasn't supposed to be there from the start. But if you never knew of something not being there before this, then for you, you say taxes is low. You say, Keon, everything is great. Why are you mad? And it's because I know that many of you don't know the past. See, this is why they say that if you don't learn the past, you will never understand the future. I'll say that again. If you don't learn of the past, you will never understand the future. You see, the past is a clear path to tell you what the future will be. That's why I like to learn the past. Because history repeats itself. That's how life is. Life is a repeat if you don't learn the past. And sometimes what may repeat, it may be new to you, but I'm guaranteed it happened before. So spend more time learning your history, especially when it comes to your money. Learn history, learn the past, understand the past, and it will make the future clear as day. Clear as day. So if you don't do this, like I said, you know where your future will be. It will be the repeat of the past. And because you never learned the past, it now becomes the future for you. Trust me, guys, life is a cycle. It's a cycle of do-overs, try agains, and next time. That's what life is. Life is about do-overs, try again, next time. And if you don't learn that quick, especially when it comes to your money, you will fail every time. You never learn. That's what failure is. When you fail to learn from the try agains, the do-overs, and the next time. That's what failure is. But you know what's the ultimate failure? When you quit. When you quit. Because when you quit, it's because you're tired of failing. And when you fail, it's because you fail because you try to take that shortcut to not learn the past. Learn the past and the future becomes clear. Right? So let's talk about the 3 ways, right? There's only 3 ways that your money get taxed when you need it, you know. Only 3 ways. Now, how easy is it? How simple, clear, fast, and doable is it for us to learn about the 3 ways money get taxed when you need it? So I'm not talking about the other implications. I'm talking about when you need your money, right? Because many of us, I love when people say, well, Keon, isn't stocks a good place to make money? I'm not here to debate where is the best place to make money. I'm here to talk to you about how is it going to be taxed even when I make it. So I'm going to give you an example of $1 million in each portfolio. Let's talk about $1 million across the board. All right. We're going to talk about how you make $1 million across the board in each vehicle. Okay. And we're going to say that you start off with $1,000. So this is the conversation we're going to have. We're going to talk about that today. Because many people will come to you and say, well, this place will make you a lot of money. This place will make you a lot. You can make a lot of money in almost everywhere that you put your money. You can make a lot of money everywhere. You can make a lot of money in stocks. You can make a lot of money in mutual funds. You can make a lot of money in your 401ks. You make a lot of money in your IRAs. You make a lot of money in your HSA. You can make a lot of money in your Roth IRA. You can make a lot of money in your life insurance. You can make a lot of money in a lot of places. But what it comes down to is how it's going to be taxed when I need my lot of money. So I don't want to hear, oh, if you put it in investment into the house, it's a lot of money you can make. When I hear people talk like that, it's because I know they don't know a lot. They don't know a lot about a lot. And that's fine. Right? So that's why I want you guys to learn a lot about little. So that way you can learn a lot about a lot. And it's very simple. Right? So let me break it down for you now. 85% of the people here save their money where the money is considered to be taxable income. Taxable. And taxable means that you have probably put your money in one of these places. You'll probably put your money in, let's say, a savings account, checking account, CDs, stocks, mutual funds, money market funds, right? You probably put your money in one of these places. 85% of the population save there. And that money is considered to be taxable. Okay, taxable. So what does taxable mean? Taxable mean that any earnings inside of a savings account, your CDs, right? You got to report and pay tax on that. And also any dividends, meaning any money that you take out of your stocks or money market funds, right? Things like your mutual funds, you have to report and pay tax on that as well. So imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine there was a year where you earned and take out at the same time. Now, what does that mean for you? Tax. So let's say that you had $1 million, right? We're going to talk about this $1 million now. You invested $1,000 and they make you $1 million in a tax now bracket. What does that mean for your $1 million? It means that now every time you take from that $1 million, you got to pay Uncle Sam his money. You pay Uncle Sam his money. So now you're going to be taxed on it every time that you take a portion of that $1 million. And when would that be? What if it's every month? Tax. What if it's every quarter? Tax. What if it's every half a year? Tax. Every annual? Tax. You will be paying taxes. What if you earn money? Tax. Are you guys seeing it yet? Is that $1 million now $1 million? Right? What do you guys think? Right? Do you think that $1 million $1 million now? If your money is in a taxable bracket, is that still $1 million? Because I'm pretty sure that's a no. It's not $1 million. It's not $1 million. You've made $1 million. That's the difference. You've grown. You have growth of $1 million, but you don't have $1 million. Not if every withdrawal and every time it earned, I have to pay tax. That's not $1 million. Sorry. Sorry to break it to you today. Newsflash. But then, what if you say, you know, Keon, I don't do that. I'm not one of those 85% of people. I'm a 10%er, Keon. I put my money where I get tax deferred. I got my money in a tax deferred account. Now, what is a tax deferred account? So, tax deferred accounts are vehicles like your 401ks, your 403bs, your 457s, your IRAs, your SEP IRAs, your annuities and pensions. And you say, Keon, this is a retirement plan. I'm doing good because I don't have to pay any taxes on my money here until I need it. So I look at you with the cross eye, and I may roll my eyes at you a little bit because I may be a little bit annoyed at this moment because I said, what's the difference with tax now and tax later, which is tax deferred? And they said, well, I don't have to pay taxes until later on, Keon. And I say to you, I rather, I would have rather had it where it was tax now than to put it in a tax deferred. Now, some people argue with me and say, no, that's rubbish, Keon. That is rubbish. Okay, let's play devil's advocate. You have $1,000 to invest. You put $1,000 in. They said, no, we're not going to tax you because now that money is considered to be pre-tax money. So the pre-tax means that any money that you deposit in the account, you don't have to worry about paying taxes on it right now. So that $1,000 is tax deferred for how many years it takes, but you get to $1 million. Now you're at $1 million. And let's say that you're even at the age of 59 and a half, because you have to be at 59 and a half to take the money without getting penalized. So you reach 59 and a half, and now here you are saying, woo, we made it. You feel like Drake. We made it, right? Got $1 million. And now you start taking out withdrawals. You're like, oh, they didn't tell you this part, that every withdrawal will be taxed as ordinary income. Say what? Oh, yeah. And because it's taxed as ordinary income at the end of the year, whatever you have taken out, at the end of the year, that is considered as ordinary income. So you tax at a withdrawal, and you tax when you file your taxes, you have to report what you took for the year as well, because that's considered ordinary income. So you got taxed when you take the money, and at the end of the year, it got to add up for you to be taxed again. Because now you got to pay Uncle Sam what's called income tax. How many of you knew that? How many of you knew that? Oh, but you think that's where it stops? Oh, no, 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 no. It gets worse. It gets really worse. We're not even going to talk about the management fees that's attached to these things. We're not even going to talk about the fact that your money is still exposed to market fluctuations because you didn't know your tax. And then God forbid, if you didn't even know your risk tolerance and you had it on aggressive. Oh my God. Now you have 100% of your $1 million exposed to the market fluctuation. Even if you have it as a conservative investor, you still got 35% exposure of your $1 million. So do you truly have $1 million? What if you need to take that money before 59 and a half? You get a 10% penalty in addition to paying taxes. So if you wanted to take your $1 million, I know I'm just being really exaggerating now. Oh, who would want to take $1 million in one time, Keon? I don't know. Maybe you want to cash out. So if you wanted to do that and you did that, 10% penalty for touching it before 59 and a half. And let's say that tax is at 25%. So now that's another 35% out of your $1 million gone. So you're left with $650,000. So you tell me if that's still $1 million income. And then, yes, at the end of the year, you're going to be taxed as ordinary income for taking out the $1 million, not the $635,000 that you received. Does that sound like a good plan? Honestly, I'm just having a conversation with you guys. Does that sound like a good plan? You can let me know if it's a yes or no. What you think? Is that where you want to put your money? Because your HR department and your so-called boss or your employer told you that it's a good place for you to save your money? Stop drinking the Kool-Aid. Stop drinking the Kool-Aid. It was bad for you. You will get diabetes. It's too sweet. You need to drink some bitter. It's called reality check. But no one ever broke it down to you. And here's another thing. You can't even keep your money there forever. They're going to tell you when you have to start taking it. Because if you don't start taking it by 72, due to the new RMD age that they changed it from 70 and a half to 72, that's if they did that for you. That's another thing you got to find out. Here's the thing. If you don't take it by 72, 50% of your $1 million is gone. $500,000 is gone, and you can't do nothing about it because you failed to take out the required minimum distribution. How is this a retirement plan? How could we believe such a lie? You want me to know why I know it's a lie? Once again, when you know the past, the future is clear. You want me to know why? You want to know how I know? Who want to know? Who want to know how I know it's a lie? Hit yes if you want me to tell you. You want to know how I know it's a lie? You want to know? The reason why I know it's a lie is because when I did research, and I encourage you to do the same thing. Please don't take my word for it. Don't be gullible. Question me today and do your research. I want you to go research and Google a guy named Ted Benner. Google a guy named Ted Benner, Tedbenna, Ted Benner, who was the creator of the 401k. When he discovered the tax code in 1978, he created the 401k, the first ever 401k for a bank in Pennsylvania called Johnson. And Johnson enrolled the first ever 401k plan out with 52 employees in 1982. And it was never meant to be a retirement plan. It was a nice tax incentive that companies get tax write-off based upon the amount of people that they have enrolled in this. And on top of that, because they have employees rolled into what's called a retirement program, the government gives them a tax write-off. You don't believe me? When you file your Schedule C, go into the Schedule C tax write-off section in your filing taxes, and you will see you get credited for all the employees that you put into a 401k plan or a deferred plan. Did you know that? See, I'm a 1099, so when I file my taxes, I see that as part of my option. I just don't have the employees enrolled in a 401k plan to get tax credit for it. Ted Benner even said it. He never meant for companies to take away the pension program and replace it with a 401k plan. You keep drinking the Kool-Aid. And many people will come and tell me, well, my company match. Keon, isn't that a good thing? They match. That's like you saying, I drive a nice car. Keon, isn't that my car really nice? But I only get 14 miles per gallon, but it's a nice car. Compared to what? Not compared to my Honda. I don't care how pretty a Bugatti is. It ain't better on gas than a Honda. I don't care how expensive that car is. It's not better than my Honda. I get more miles for my money. See, many of you guys are not getting more money for your retirement. But hear about this one, right? I'm going to stop beating up your 401ks because I know a lot of you guys love it. You still love it. You're still going to love it after this. Because you probably won't even do the research after this. But I challenge you to. I really do. But let's look at tax advantage. Tax advantage. How does tax advantage work? So once again, you have $1,000 to invest. And the goal is to get to $1 million. So tax advantage means that the $1 million that you grow later on, you won't have to pay any withdrawals on that. And the reason why is because you already pay taxes. So meaning that if you was to start off with $1,000 to invest right now, and taxes is at 25%, so you pay your taxes, right, of the 25%, and you're left with $750. That $750 now grew to $1 million. What it grew from is yours to keep. It's yours to keep because you already pay your taxes on $1,000 now, where taxes at 25%, where you could, I'm just giving an example. So this is a hypothetical example. So you pay your taxes now because you know what taxes are right now. And whatever it grows to, that's yours to keep. Right? So all withdrawals, right, are tax exempt. All withdrawals are tax exempt. You don't have to pay any taxes on it. That's why vehicles like a Roth IRAs, people use it for that, right? Because a Roth IRA, even though it's still tied to the market fluctuation, it has no RMD because you already pay your taxes on it. So you don't have to worry about the required minimum distribution and you get tax-free withdrawals. Absolutely. But like I said, there's a limit to how much you can put into it. And there's also, like I said, it's also still tied to the market fluctuation. Comes with fees and stuff like that too. Right? Everything has a fee, but it's just a matter of how much fees, right? Also, when you look at things like a 529 college savings plan or municipal bonds, health savings account, life insurance, and long-term care benefits. Now, a lot of people always seem as if like I'm always going back to life insurance. I think life insurance is the best thing out there for the right people. Honestly, my opinion. And the reason why I say that, and I say that with big confidence, is because one thing I'll tell you, there's life insurance out there that give you growth potential up to 15% as an earning potential. And it also give you a safety that if the market goes down negative 20, 50, 100 for all I care, you will get a positive 0.75%. And it still gives you tax-free withdrawals, tax-free loans, tax-deferred earnings, and it also gives you protection when you get a tax-free death benefit. You can't tell me there's something out there that is better than that. I'll wait. And you also got long-term care as well that give you tax-free money. So why you didn't learn about that? Why didn't your employer tell you to go into that? Because you know what's funny? If corporations learn about something called a list bill, the same way how they get a kickback for enrolling you in your 401ks, they could have did the same thing through a list bill. But why didn't they? Why didn't they do that? See, guys, another thing I'll give you too. I want you to research something called dead peasant insurance. You would never look at your group insurance or your job anymore the same. Look at something called dead peasant insurance, please. All right? So when it's all said and done about taxes, you just got to understand the 3 ways your money get taxed when you need it. And once you understand the 3 ways that money get taxed when you need it, I want you to know that you are now in control. You are now in control because now you can make a decision and you could kind of give yourself an idea of where do you want to put your money and what you want to do. I challenge you to research all that I talked about today, and I would love for you to come back and tell me if I'm wrong. I would love for you to tell me I'm wrong. I would love for you to say, Keon, you're absolutely wrong. I would love it. I challenge you. Tell me I'm wrong. I will unmute you if you say, Keon, you're wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. And you know what? I would love for you to teach me what I said wrong. And I would love for you to educate me. Because at that moment, I would learn is either they're telling a lie about the past or someone's trying to unwrite the past and try to create a new future. But I'm willing to learn. I'm a student here. Money Talk is a platform where, hey, sometimes you got to educate the educator. Or sometimes you got to realize that, man, that educator knows a lot. He's not just here selling me the fluff. This is not what Money Talk. I'm a rebel with a cause. And I'm here to inform the people. I'm just doing God's work. So I'm moving the faith of man. I move with him. I do his work. Because I don't care of the repercussions of this. I care that the people know. And it's important that you know. You got to learn. You got to take the time to learn. Money Talk is that. We're here to empower you. So just some quick announcement, right? Before I open up the call for some comments or if you have questions and so on. Just so you know, tomorrow we're going to talk about some different things, right? We concluded our wealth talk for this week, but tomorrow I have a surprise for you. Just so you know, if you want to learn more through our workshops, our free financial workshops, please, you're more than welcome to come, right? You can sign up on our website at worldsystembuilder.com backslash WS dash USA. All right, you get access to the workshop Monday through Friday. We have them at 2 p.m. Eastern time and 8 p.m. Eastern time. Also, you know, our goal is that 30 by 30 financial literacy campaign, because financial education isn't an option, it's a necessity. And that's why World System Builder is committed to educating and empowering 30 million families by the year 2030. So once again, I invite you to our financial literacy classes, 4 Steps to Financial Freedom, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday at 10 a.m., 12 p.m., and 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We provide you with free education for you to learn some of these steps as well. And if you'd like to learn more about our campaign, right, I would love for you to come and learn more about our campaign on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and 8 p.m. and Saturdays at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. You know, me and my fiance, we break down more about finance so you can come and learn as well. So if you ever want to come and support, I have this event that I'm doing. It's called Extension Expo. You can get your tickets at extensionexpo.com and be a part of it. It's a really beautiful event. If you know anybody in the hair industry, you would definitely want to invite them, or in the beauty or, you know, makeup, stuff like that. You can invite them to this event. It's going to be an incredible event. And like I said, I'm actually one of the educators that's going to be talking about financial literacy and money there. So every Monday through Friday, you know, Money Talk is here, right? And I'm here to empower you and embrace everything that's going on so that way you could be empowered at the same time. So always remember that you're one decision away from changing your future for the better. So remember that the choice is always yours, right?